All right, all right, all right. Here we are, episode 7 of Behind the Red Door. I'm Penny.
Aiken.
And
I'm Jen Peterson.
And today we have with us Mark Light from 210 Homebuyer Warranty. Thank you for joining us, Mark.
Well, thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Yes, I'm really excited for this episode because I think that there's a lot of misnomers and falsities in the home warranty business. And we're very excited to have partnered with you because I myself have used 210 Homebuyer Warranty when I was with a different brokerage, and we had moved to you from a different company. And so I'm really excited about this.
I am too.
Awesome. Well, get us started off, Jen.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mark, and what led you to get into the home warranty business.
Well, almost by accident, but I have been in the home warranty business in one form or another since 1986.
Wow.
Awesome.
So my experience before that and during some of that time, my previous experience has pretty much been the military.
Okay.
So I'm an officer in the Army and then served in the reserves and served during Desert Storm. So
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. This is something that we didn't know. We didn't even talk about that before.
Well, that's there's not much history there, but after that, I kind of got in the home warranty business by accident. My father owned a franchise system for the state of Michigan with some other partners, and he went out to California and learned about this concept of home warranties, and he brought it back. And it was fairly a new thing here, and for his member brokers at the time, and then he expanded it. It was just a small regional company, and so he just had me, be the sales rep. And I remember being so happy. He gave me all the gas I could burn, a little car, paid me $20,000 a year, and $2 a warranty. And I thought I was on cloud 9.
Yeah.
And then he sold that company. Ironically, that company was called United One here based in Southfield, Michigan. Mm-hmm. And he sold it to, ironically, what's now known as the company I work for today as 210 Homebuyers Warranty.
Wow.
And,
no kidding.
And 210 started in 1980. They start primarily as a new construction builder's 10-year warranty.
Awesome.
And that's their claim to fame because it's 2. That's the name. That's how you get 210. 2-year systems and mechanics, 10-year structural, and that's a great little name to carry on in the resale world. But they got on the resale real estate channels back in around 1985, and their vessel was actually this is such a coincidence. Was United One, which is the little company my dad started.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable. Now, you were straight from your dad's company to 210, or did you?
No, I sold real estate through college.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I was like 18 years old, and I had a real estate license back in 1979.
That's awesome.
So back then, we were selling houses at 18% interest rates.
I just had a conversation the other day with my mom about that. She was like, your dad and I, because my mortgage interest rate is ridiculous, 2.25%. Like it's literally, I live in my house basically for free, and she was telling me about at one point she and my dad had an 18% mortgage and they were happy about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was just that crazy.
My wife and I when my wife and I bought our first home in the early 80s, 86, I think we got 10%, and that was actually good.
That's a good rate, yeah.
And boy, things have changed. So
a little bit.
But and then we start another home warranty company called Home Protection One. It ended up being very successful in the 90s here throughout Michigan. In fact, it was probably the leading home warranty program in Michigan during the 90s. And then that company was we were purchased by the country's largest home warranty company, and I worked for them in sales management, also in sales in general. And I was actually for a few years there in the top 10 in the nation for home warranty sales.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then took a year off. Come January of 2018, I joined 210 Homebuyers Warranty. And I looked at a lot of different programs out there, and I really enjoy this program. It's very transparent.
That's the best.
And it has a lot of nuances that the other plans don't have, and it's very marketing oriented for an agent to build their business upon. So, and their connection with the new construction too is a plus. The question I usually get a lot is why 210? What's the difference between that? Well, I use a phrase. There's 3 key pillars of differential. With 210, first of all, the agents, the real estate agent, you folks, have an incredible marketing tool to get listings. And that is we feature or offer complimentary listing coverage. And you can sign up, you can make it automatic for all your listings, your sellers, but it's free.
So explain that the listing coverage is that during the time that we have the home listed, the seller has coverage should something happen with any of the major mechanicals while the home is listed.
Yes. The only exception is the central air can be covered for extra $50 payable at closing. But the rest of it, all your major systems like your heating, your plumbing, electrical, hot water tank, sump pump, garbage disposal, all your kitchen appliances, including the refrigerator, are covered for the seller at no charge.
That's huge.
Yeah, especially in a regular market where it takes a little bit longer to sell a house.
Right.
The odds of something failing while they're trying to sell the house increases quite a bit.
Sure. And then the seller, if not having this type of coverage, could potentially have a pretty large cost to incur if something had to be replaced. So
a new furnace retail in this current market or economy it could be easily $3,000.
Right.
Oh, easily.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we just paid like almost $4,000 just for AC.
And central air even more.
So that warranty then, our sellers would have this warranty when the home is on the market, and then it transfers over to the buyer.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, it transfers to the buyer once it's funded. Now, our hope is that once the seller has benefited from the home warranty coverage and the marketing of it, they fund the warranty and give it to the buyer.
Okay.
But then, in this market currently, that might not happen. So that may see, hopefully the buyer will pick up for themselves because they're going to probably need it. A likelihood of a claim of a mechanical breakdown leading to a repair or replacement is more than 50%.
Yep.
And, when it rains, it pours. And then if for some reason no one will fund it, it doesn't transfer to anybody. There's just no obligation. If there's no claim paid, you can leave it alone. But we're hoping that it is funded,
right?
And for the benefit of all involved. And a big benefit for the seller to make sure it does get funded is we don't think about the liability protection that sellers have.
Right.
I used to write E&O insurance, and E&O is a nice word for realtor malpractice insurance.
Yep, exactly.
We all have to have some type of insurance like that, right? Yep. And basically, when that broker would call or the agent, I'm being whatever, served. Not only they try to mention the realtor maybe, but they always mention the seller. The seller knew about this. And even so that the home warranty, what it does, especially with 210, it catches a lot of snowflake problems, petty problems. The furnace not working. $500 here, there. It's taken care of by us. But when there's not a warranty in place, all these little things accumulate.
Yep.
And before you know it, they're looking at a bigger picture. And before you know it, there's a lawsuit. So the seller, not only do they have a great marketing tool and help sell that house quicker and faster, complimentary coverage, they have liability protection too after the sale.
Yep. I'm so glad you're here because it's one of those things that people don't think about. And then let's say it was something and they tried to make a claim against their homeowner's insurance. Well, now there's a claim. And when the buyer's insurance agent goes to pull their insurance, they're going to see that claim.
Yeah, we cover the stuff that homeowners won't cover.
Even more important.
Yeah, homeowners won't cover normal wear and tear, mechanical breakdowns. They primarily cover acts of God, storms, and things. We fill in the gap.
Right.
For a very small deductible for the most part, or trade call fee, we like to call it in the
Yeah.
industry. So
What was that you call it a?
trade call fee,
Okay.
service fee.
Okay.
We don't normally use the term deductible like the insurance companies do.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But even then, it's usually $100, but you can
Yes.
buy it down to 75.
Yeah, with 210 you can buy it down to 75.
Yeah, so that's less than any plumber I know.
And our price points are very competitive. So even when you buy it down a little bit, we're in the ballpark.
Absolutely.
And we don't have any age limits or depreciations or prorations for, some warranties in their fine print will say the coverage is at the discretion of the company if it outlived its normal lifespan.
Right.
What is that?
Oh, that's a big thing,
So
though,
subjective.
because who's to say what
Yeah.
is the normal lifespan?
Yeah, exactly. So at 210 here, our coverage is the same regardless of the age of the system.
That's
It's really huge, especially when you get involved in the HVAC world.
yes.
And are you guys in unique that you have coverage for air conditioners where a lot of the other standard, just the base warranty does not?
This is my one of my 3 tiers of differential, and this is our claim to fame, I think, and working for 210 and representing them, is our HVAC central air coverage especially is bar none the best. And I'll tell you why. Again, we mentioned no age limits. There is no dollar limit for the buyer. There's no proration based on age. But we also cover for 13-SEER matching, which is huge, and I'll probably elaborate that on a little bit later here. But the key is a lot of home warranties have limits regarding the total amount they'll pay. Mm-hmm. $2,000 in today's world with COVID and shortages and all that, and the shortage of the AC units and prices going up, that won't go too far. So we'll have, like I said earlier, proration. We don't. We cover for, they'll say verbiage, no coverage due to federal mandate. Well, a lot of the newer systems, for most of the systems out there, your homeowners have, are probably at 10 SEER, we call it 10 SEER or below. They work on normal Freon.
Okay.
Now, there was over the past 15 years, we've been phasing out various refrigerants, Freon being one of them. And it was part of a treaty signed back in the late 80s that a lot of the ladies will know of this because it dealt with aerosol. Hairspray. You know how we got rid of hairspray and we got rid of aerosol and all that?
Yep.
Well, this is all part of that whole thing. And we felt it with the cars because everyone complains their newer car doesn't cool as fast.
Yep.
That's because it's on a different type of refrigerant, more environmentally friendly refrigerant.
I was hoping to bring back the 80s hair with the big hairspray, so I can't do that if I wanted to.
That's why that hair went out. That's why that hair disappeared. There was no more hairspray. But darn. But that was like my era. But anyway, I diverse here a little bit. But back to the central air coverage. What's happening out there? These older units, if they rely on Freon, and Freon is no longer available, and if it is available, it's been stockpiled somewhere, and the contractor's charging a large amount of money,
Right.
like $80, $90 a pound. And some of my competitors have a limit what they'll pay per pound at $10 a pound. That sounds okay, but with 210 home buyers warranty, even our most basic coverage, there is no limit what we'll pay out per pound in refrigerant. Now, if we can get the recharged Freon, fine, but if we cannot, we'll try to convert it if we can. If we cannot, and that unit's obsolete, and we'll replace if we need to.
Wow.
So that's a huge differential on that per pound coverage. It sounds like not a big deal, but when you are paying when they're only paying $10 a pound, brand X, whoever, and you need 7-8 pounds, your out-of-pocket expense on average, and this is when things go well, meaning the claim's being covered, that's the homeowner still going to have to fork out another additional $630 on average
Right.
in out-of-pocket expense. And with 210, we cover that refrigerant regardless of the market price at the time.
And you know what's so funny is from using it, because I met you right when you started with 210. I was still with a different brokerage, and you came in and we were sold right away. And the selling point for me, and then subsequently for my clients, was the AC, because it's just not covered. So the fact that you guys, and then the SEER matching is crazy. Can you go into
Yeah,
that?
the best way I can describe what that all is about is give you a recent story that I was involved in last year in a home out nearby in Southfield. And basically, they had an AC claim, and it was deemed that it could not be repairable. And so it was approved for replacement. Well, once it was replaced, we discovered that it was no longer compatible or with the existing operational, a key word here is operational, furnace or heating system. And what happens is when they're not compatible, they're going to wear each side out earlier than that should be.
Right.
13 SEER matching is matching various things, but most importantly, maybe the furnace needs to be upgraded or changed out to be compliant with the AC unit that we replaced. We cover for that. And that claim was, I don't see it often, but I refer to it as 13 SEER matching. It's on the front cover of our brochure. But I can tell you when I go out there, most of the public does not know what that means.
Right.
And
I didn't
and now we
know what it means.
Well, we know. And basically, this total claim, when I discovered it, because I write out claim cards out myself, and it came out to be over $6,600.
Wow.
And guess what? If that person didn't even have a home warranty, especially with 210, and they had to go out there and pay retail, it probably would have been at least $12,000.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So they essentially replaced the furnace because the furnace was not compatible with the new AC that they replaced.
Yes, yeah.
That's unheard of. That's
crazy.
I don't know any other company that would do that.
Technically, you could say, hey, that's operational. That's on you.
Right.
So
right, exactly.
In this case, 210 did a great job in stepping up. So anyway, the 13 SEER, the Freon, the refrigerants, whatever. This is another key differential. Why 210? Again, no age limits, no proration. The devil's in the details at the end of the day.
It really is. And you mentioned the transparency earlier, and that is, so we have a buyer and she's buying the home warranty and she's really excited, and she had several that she was looking at, and I said, you really need to look at this one. The transparency is what got her. She's like, the fine print is in large print and it's right here. It literally says very clearly what the limitations are, if there are any. Whereas there's other companies out there where it's a 12-page booklet and you got to get your magnifying glass out and look at the very bottom and see, okay.
Right in the middle of our main marketing booklet brochure, our marketing department did a great job in spelling out heating system, telling under standard coverage, this is covered.
Yep.
Big print. You add Supreme, which is our upgrade. This is what's added coverage. And then we tell you what's not covered. And it's not fine print.
Correct.
Right.
And it's, so very transparent and very proud of it. And on the back of it, there's a nice little metrics where you can see exactly what's covered item by item for the standard. And when I say standard, our standard is really, compared to other home warranties, they're mid-level program.
Yes.
Our standard is not really standard. It's it's comprehensive.
Yeah.
And then our Supreme which is very important for homes older, adds coverages for modifications if needed, in regarding replacement of certain HVAC systems, code permits. Also, you get washer and dryer added to that package too. So,
that's huge.
Yes, it's worth the extra $100. And if the seller's only paying so much, the buyer has up to 30 days after closing to upgrade.
Oh, so can the buyer, if for instance the seller did your standard package, which is not really standard as you just mentioned, but the standard package, and there were some things that the buyer wanted to include that were not included in that, kind of the a la carte stuff, then after closing, they can go back and add?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and that's within a 30-day time period?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can they extend the warranty from the 1 year to a 2 year? How does that look?
That's important to us that we could get a renewal with the client. We'll try to, if we have the contact information, we'll be sending them information about their opportunity to renew and extend their contract. We very much want to do that because it builds our business.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Is it something that is done near the end of that first year then, or do they have the opportunity for a reduced price to do 2 years up front?
If you think they're going to want to renew and go 2 years, it is financially more prudent to do the 2 years up front.
Okay.
It's basically the price of the warranty times 2.
Gotcha.
And our system gives them 2 separate contract numbers, one for this year and then the one for the next year.
Gotcha.
And that would be, indirectly, there is a savings there.
Good.
Right.
So good savings. Good. Our third big pillar of differential, and this is something recent, but it's been a big success here in Michigan, is our, I love this tie-in to Red Door, by the way, is our Happy Homes and New Lock and Key promotion or rebate. It's an offering.
We got excited when we heard about this when we met last.
It's $100 given to the buyer. It's like free money for something they're going to do anyways.
Of course.
So in a way, it kind of brings the price of the warranty down indirectly.
Yep.
So it's for replacing of the.
Yeah, it can be used to replace the lock, the nice front door hardware lock, up to $100. Most people use it to rekey the house.
Yeah.
The beauty of the plan is not like making a claim. Once the buyer closes on their home, we like to make sure they register on our homeowner's portal, and once they register on that portal, they'll be given an offer. You want to take advantage of this? I call it a rebate, but it's $100 for pay back to them for replacing the locks, or more importantly, rekeying the house. The beauty of it is they get to pick who they want to do it. They find their own locksmith, or they go to the local hardware store and buy their own.
Can they do it themselves? So if they had, if they went into Home Depot and spent $100 on hardware, could they be reimbursed for the hardware itself, and then they could install it if they wanted to, even? And
if they buy something more modest and they have someone put it in, whatever the total bill is, including the locksmith, we pay up to $100. So if they spend $80, they get $80. If they spend $200, they get $100.
$100, yeah.
But it's like free money for something they're going to do anyways. And it's a great promotional. And what we also do for you as an agent, we can generate a certificate that you can remind your clients to take advantage of this.
Yes.
That comes from you, the agent.
It's so awesome. And we kind of touched on your marketing material earlier, but one of our agents is a big door knocker. And he is very successful with it. He did door-to-door. Actually, Garrett, he was on. I don't remember which episode.
A couple episodes ago.
Yep. And so he went door knocking. And we had just received your marketing kit. And there are these excellent door hangers. And they explain the complimentary seller coverage. And it's a place right there for your card. And so we stapled his card, and he, in every house, I think they knocked 86 doors that day.
It was
every house got that on it. And I told him what you had told us when we met, that you actually had agents who got the listing because they left that there.
Yeah, it's a story from a couple of years ago, but I had an agent here in Livingston County, and called me, like 2,000 of them.
Wow.
And I go, 2,000? I go, okay, why do you need so many? Well, she says, I just made a nice commission because I got a listing because of this, door hanger.
Wow.
And they got in the house so quick. It was a nice, well-priced house. Probably was a nice, very large home, I suppose. So, that agent was a true believer and wanted to do it on a bigger scale. So, we got it done for them. So
all right. Well, sign us up for 2,000.
We got to go through the several hundred we have already.
I know, I'm joking.
But the marketing materials are very nice, and then and there's a nice tie-in to your company on one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's why. I mean, of course, we're excited about all the things, but the rebate for the locks and the Happy Home. I mean, that's so above and beyond. Yep.
One thing for me was just one of the other companies that we had been using. We would send the information to the client electronically, and they're DocuSigning, and I think it was 17 pages.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And you talked about the print. When we sat down at the table, I didn't even have my glasses on, which now, I need the reading glasses, but I didn't even have to put my glasses on because it was so clear. The way it was very simple. Mm-hmm. It wasn't very wordy. And I just liked the way that it looked. And I think that is people in looking at, you put them two different things in front of their face. I think people are going to be drawn to that just because they can easily understand it.
Yeah.
It's not, hiding things in the fine print. And that's a big deal for people.
And here's another big statistic that it's on a lot of our marketing materials too, but our approval rates, claims being paid, service being, requests being honored is an incredible 97.5%.
That was actually a question I had for you.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and so I've been around a couple other home warranties. I don't know anyone else is that dependable. So the big issues I want to tell the world and the public is home warranty companies are not designed to be emergency service. They feel a great importance in their financial protection. They give you peace of mind, but we also want to set realistic expectations. If you lose your central air today, it's not going to be replaced tomorrow. There's a process, and it takes a good week or so. And we do deal with emergencies as best we can because of people's ailments or health. We do take that into consideration. And myself and my manager are very sensitive to making sure those people are comfortable.
Right.
That's important stuff.
Shout out to my manager, Sean O'Neill. You're the best.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Sean. Totally off the topic. But tell us about Mark. What are some of your hobbies? What do you do when you're not?
Well, believe it or not, despite my size, I do spin class every day.
That is awesome.
And it's been a great blessing because I sweat so much, and it really gets rid of all those salts and toxins.
Oh, the heck, yeah.
So so I do enjoy that. Either I do an evening one or a morning one, and then of course, I like to hike and with my walking stick, and used to walk with my dog. Lost my dog. I know. So, anyways, I kayak. I need a really big kayak, but yeah, I like to kayak.
Okay. I love kayak.
So are you a Peloton rider then? Is that
no,
what you do?
I know.
Okay.
COVID almost killed me in that regard because I was not a Peloton, and I need the room with full of people.
Oh, I gotcha. So you'll go to the classes.
Yeah. It's like it's mostly actually older men like me and younger women.
Hey.
I would. And it's really, in fact, here in Livingston County, I come across a lot of agents that like doing that.
Really?
Yeah, but I do it. It's a good release, and you got the music, and you got the dark.
Yeah.
And you're not that good at it. No one really sees you anyway because you're in the dark. So, and I love boating. I can maneuver a boat pretty well, and and like I said, kayaking and a little bit of walking stuff.
Yeah. So you mentioned your wife.
Yeah, my wife Jennifer.
Do you have children?
2 grown boys. I have a younger son of 27. He's in the medical world. He works at St. Joseph Hospital.
Fabulous.
So, and then my oldest son, who was also in the military for a little bit, he's gonna be 31 this year. It's hard to believe time goes by.
It does.
And he works for Honeywell now in Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
And he makes a good living, and he's got a top secret clearance. So,
ooh,
I know.
That's awesome.
No, so every time he comes to town, he says, I want to hear about any of your work stuff. No, but he works in R&D for defense systems for Honeywell in Kansas City. So
that's awesome.
So 2 boys, very proud of them.
That's
Why
excellent.
could you not be?
No, of course, right.
So I have to ask.
I had my 35th anniversary last week. So 35.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's important too.
That's super
awesome.
important. And congratulations to you and Jennifer on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good. I'm going to do a little personal shout out too. Today is my son Henry's 8th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
He's my baby, and so my baby is now 8 years old and is full of spunk, and he's very klutzy. And so happy birthday, Henry.
Henry, if I would have known, I would have baked you a cake.
I would have brought a cookie or something.
That's all right. He's going to have too many sweets this week anyway.
And Anyways, that's one more thing I want to bring up is
Yeah.
another thing that's unique to 210 is I didn't see elsewhere working for other companies is we have something called even if. And even if is a policy where, let's say you do make a service request and somehow it ends up being something that's not eligible for coverage. But you, in that meantime, have forked out your service fee to the contractor, because that's paid to them, not to us. You can actually apply and call it and say, well, this wasn't, I paid this, and we'll refund that service fee back to them.
Wow.
If it's deemed, you're saying that gets refunded. If it's deemed that it's not a serviceable item.
And it was an item that we probably should have caught an initial phone call or something, but it wasn't something that we covered to begin with.
Gotcha.
And we sent a contract, or it ends up being something that, in the unlikely world, it was denied for whatever reason.
Right.
When I was elsewhere, once a homeowner pays that fee,
Yeah.
too bad.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. With us, they can apply to get that back.
Wow.
And I think that's good empathy there too.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
And it's not something I see a lot of, but it's a nice thing to have out there. And like I said, our overall approval rate is 97%.
That's huge. Well, I have more clients with other companies not have things covered than they ever had covered. And so for the longest time, I didn't even offer them as an agent because all of my clients were giving me terrible feedback until 210. And then finally I was starting to get feedback back from, wow, they actually came out and did it. Like one was it was a house, it was only like 25 years old, but the pipes were really small. And so they went in and put all low flow toilets in. Well, like 2 weeks after they moved in, all the sewers started backing up and they had to have it scoped and everything. They had the home warranty. Of course, it wasn't an emergency thing or whatever, but they throughout the process, they got it all fixed. And they asked the contractor, well, how much would this have been if we didn't have our home warranty? And it was well over $1,000. And so, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And by being able to, and that was 210, by being able to look through it and say, no, this isn't just, I don't think it's a secret that in some industries there's some reciprocity as far as to agents if you choose to get reimbursed for the ones that you sell. I don't think that's a secret. So, but the nice thing is that 210 does a little bit different. What isn't the other offering that you guys have? So if an agent says, you know what, I don't need that.
I mean, well, we have a form where if you give us information on the house, it's kind of like a principal service, and it provides a admin feedback to the team or to the office. Mm-hmm. If they choose not to bother with that, and a lot do, the warranty here in this market can be reduced by $45.
See, that's huge. That's just another offering.
And we'll give you the little certificate coupon that you can give out to your clients. It looks like a gift from you. But again, that's just here in the Midwest probably.
But that's cool because it's just another thing to set us or anybody else apart and say, hey, we are giving back. That's what we do.
That's it. For Red Door, we really have tried to set ourselves apart as much as possible, and the partners that we choose, and a lot of the things that when we got together with you that you guys do were different than the other companies that we've been working with. So for us, it was an immediate. I didn't think that when we were getting together that we were 100% going to make a switch, but after we sat down, we went back to the office, and that was it. We knew right away that 210 aligned with Red Door, and it was a perfect match for us.
And you got also here 30-some years experience going to work for you.
That's right.
Exactly.
And more importantly, when you need it for your clients.
That's exactly true.
I'm here for you, and here our slogan at 210 Home Buyers Warranty is "Long Live Happy Homes," and that's what I want to achieve for you and your clients.
Well, we very much appreciate that, and we know that you've been here local in Livingston County. Very involved with the Livingston County Association of Realtors, Women's Council of Realtors. You've been, just very involved, and a lot of the activities that take place and sponsoring, and we appreciate that very much for sure.
And in the sponsoring, I thank my company 210 for allowing me to do it.
Absolutely. That's huge.
And I want to thank the Women's Council from a couple of years ago for making me affiliate of the year here. So
that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So
yep.
I appreciate that greatly.
So
and for us to be able to reach out to you, I mean, I feel like I blow you up all the time. I've already emailed you so many times, but you write back to me, do this, and this, or
I had no kids at home anymore. I got time.
Right. But I mean, I can't even get agents to call me back, let alone my home warranty rep.
Yeah.
And so to be that in it, and
Thank
then it's huge. You are a big part of our decision to move over.
Thank you.
well, absolutely, that was
100%.
the big part of the decision.
It's a
for
great
sure.
product, but
Yeah,
having
made
a
me
good
cry.
rep. But having a good product, I mean, because in this industry, we have to rely on each other so much. And because we all have really the same goal. And I can't tell you how many times I have to remind agents in a deal that, hey, like literally we're all on the same team. I know we're dichotomous by trade,
Right.
but really we all have the same goal.
I have to admit, Livingston County is really, in its real estate world, is very unique in that even though realtors are always competing, they get along together so well.
Yes.
So really small community, I would say, in that everybody, there's enough business to go around for sure, but everybody seems to, for the most part, I think, really be on the same page, and that we're all just trying to get to the closing table. We're trying to take care of our clients, and we want to, hand by hand, holding hands, getting to that closing table with the other agents, and the agents in this county very much are that way.
And also in this county, we have realtors that have leadership roles in the national level and the state level. I mean, as a community, we have a great real estate professional community that's robust and works for the community and does the right thing at the end of the day as a whole.
I agree with that. I
100%.
wholeheartedly agree with that. That's something about this community just in general.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's still a little bit of the small town feel, people doing the right things.
Yep.
I wanted to go back to some of the warranty coverage, just so the people that are listening. So we're not just talking about mechanical coverage. So you guys have a la cartes for a lot of different things. What about people that have swimming pools?
There is a rider or option for in-ground pools,
Okay.
both freshwater and salt system. Believe it or not, years ago, when I first heard about saltwater pools, I thought it was people liked to swim in salt water.
Yeah.
No, it's a filtration system that's better for your skin.
Right.
Oh.
When it first came out, I just assumed it was something to do with having your pool feel like the ocean.
Right.
But no one really likes salt water anyway. So
I
anyway,
was gonna
that's
say,
that's my little story there,
That's funny.
learning. But yeah, things out in Livingston County that you might want to consider offering here when needed is there is well pumps, mechanical.
Okay.
That's something they might need.
That's a huge thing for our
Yeah.
county because we have so many people well and septic here.
Yeah, and then there's a septic rider too, but that's just to pump it up if it backs up, whatever.
Okay.
That will not cover the drain field.
The field, okay,
That's
which
something
is your
very serious.
crazy expense if
Yeah.
you have something, but you're pumping
Yeah,
or a backup, that's a
injector
big
pumps,
deal.
yeah.
So if you have a sump pump failure,
Yes.
and you have a backup into your basement, how does that work?
We cover for sump pump mechanical.
Okay.
Secondary damage is normally not covered.
Not covered. Okay.
I'm not surprised by that.
Homeowners might help you with that.
Well, they're homeowners insurance.
Right.
Right.
Another thing we offer is there's a roof repair rider. It's $100, but it's limited. It's going to have a $1,000 cap.
Okay.
So when explaining it, it's just something they can use for a shingle flashing. It's a patch-up job.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So a storm, hailstorm, that type of thing?
No, it has to be something that's just normal wear and tear.
Okay, I gotcha.
Again, homeowners comes in play with the storm. A good little tidbit on that roof rider. It's good for first-time buyers that are told by the home inspector, and they're putting everything they have into the the price of the house, the down payment, whatever, and they're going to just be getting by very tightly budget-wise for the first couple of years in that property. That home inspector normally will tell them or tell you, the agent, that roof has probably outlived its lifespan because of its age. You might start wanting to save money for a new roof.
Yeah, budget for replacement. We see that in the inspection reports all the
yeah.
time.
So anyway, so this is a little the rider for $100. If something does happen where they have a leak, there's something there for them, especially if they're on a tight budget.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what you provide your homeowners, your clients, by making sure they get a home warranty, is financial protection, peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
And then liability protection for the seller. Now, as this market becomes more normal, and we're already seeing that where prices are plateauing, days on market are now in
A little bit of a shift.
increasing.
We're starting to see a little tiny bit of a shift.
If you're thinking about selling, this is time to list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It
Absolutely.
is still very much that time.
And then with that said, as we approach a more normal market, you'll find that warranties will be more common.
Yep.
And again, the complimentary coverage for the seller. They have peace of mind, risk management for the seller. Also, I can provide you with sign riders that the home warranty isn't, this house has a home warranty.
Oh, we need to do that
Yeah.
right away.
And ironically, our colors kind of match right now.
Fantastic.
And then for your buyers, financial protection, the likelihood they'll need our service. Right in this crazy market now, the buyer should be buying the warranty for themselves at the very least.
Yep.
Right.
Because they're going to, when they're paying everything they have down and bidding on that house and putting more money down to get the house,
Yeah.
another $500 some dollars, it's not going to be.
It really
not-
should
not the
just be a
difference.
no-brainer.
Exactly.
I mean, it should be in this market condition, our buyers should be, providing themselves peace of mind by picking up
Yeah,
coverage.
exactly.
And as the market shifts, it should be something that our sellers should be, automatically including to increase, the positive aspec's of.
It's
of
a
their home.
win-win for all involved.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And like I
That's
said,
what we're always looking for.
yeah, exactly.
Really.
So, but I think we covered a lot. Any other questions?
No, I think I basically thank you for joining us. This was a
Thank
great
you
episode.
for having me.
It's just good to kind of peel the onion back and get the information out there because it is something where there is a lot of chit chat about, but people don't really know what they're talking about.
Right.
Agents and customers because they, I want to get one, but my aunt had one and she had a horrible experience. Nothing was covered. So part of it is just the education piece of read this first before you make a decision.
And believe it or not, when we send surveys out, most people, vast majority of people are happy with the service.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the people that have an issue are just the most loudest.
Correct.
It's just like any business. When you do,
Sure.
you do a terrific job, but you only hear from the one that had that one issue.
That's
Correct.
right.
So again, we catch the snowflake problems before it becomes a big snowstorm litigation for the realtors
Yep.
Like
and
that.
the sellers, and peace of mind for your buyers. And like I said, I commit to you and to your public out there, when you have a 210 home buyer's warranty, I promise you 2 times the attention if you want it, but more importantly, 10 times the service.
Yes.
Ooh,
That's
I
it.
Long
love.
live happy homes.
I love that. I love that. That's a perfect,
Perfect way to end.
period at the end of this little chat. I love that. That's excellent.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you.